First of all, EYOTAB stands for Empowering Youth Through Talent Building. It is a program that I have dreamed of for a long time. I always dreamed of having such a program to help our young people. I know many people would want to be the next Jose Chameleon, the next Salvador, the next Moti, the next Daddy Andre, the next anybody. But like you said earlier, there were no opportunities. So when the good Lord blessed me with this opportunity, I met good partners called MasterCard Foundation, and then I'm working with an organization called Christian Children's Outreach Ministry. So we teamed up together and we made this program for the next 1 year. We are going to look at the young people and the talents that they have and turn those raw talents into superstars. So we brought here forms to the great TBS radio. I hope you've all filled your forms. If the forms are finished, we shall bring more because we want as many talents as possible. But this project is entirely going to build that raw talent. You don't have to be a star ready to come to EYOTAB. We want you to be raw. Then you're going to meet great tutors, great teachers who are going to refine that talent from where it is until you reach a level where people are hunting for you to perform at their events, or to record that wedding, or to shoot that graduation, or to produce that music for them.
Emma, what kind of talents are we talking about right in here? Because maybe I'm a talented footballer. What kind of talents are we talking basically about here?
We are talking about the creative arts. So the creative arts include music, include comedy, include graphics design and animation, and include videography. This covers video production, the recording, and then the editing, and then the production itself. Under music, we shall have the singers, and then we shall have the instrumentalists, those who can play piano, play guitar. They are all welcome. And then also under music, we shall have audio producers, those who can produce sounds. Also under music, we shall have what we call voiceover artists, those guys who make radio ads. Someone comes and says, TBS, Loteso. And then you like their voices, and you just love hearing the ad because of someone's voice. So we are going to train those ones as well. So it is the creative arts, things to do with the entertainment.
Okay, it's a brief one right in there, and if you've just joined us, you're listening to 87.6 TBS, the Bull of Teso, and we have a team from EYOTAB in the building. You know, talking about a lot of things, shedding light on some of the issues that you could have not known right in there. You can also still hold your peace until we give you a chance to come through later on to ask any question about this particular project. Very important for you to have this information. And how do I qualify to get into the audition bit of this?
Number one, you must be above 18. The program is strictly for youth. As the name says, empowering youth through talent building. So you must fall within the youth category. So you must be 18 up to 35. Of course, youth start from, I think, as early as 16 or something like that. But we're talking of 18 because we want a certain level of maturity, number one. Number two, we also do not want people who are currently studying in school. We don't want you to stop studying because you want to come for EYOTAB. We are looking for those people who probably someone has graduated, but work is still a rumor. A job is still a rumor. Or we are looking for those who are working, but maybe it is not enough and they have the time to learn an extra skill. We are also looking for those who just have this skill, and they know that once they have this skill, then their life can change. Someone might be having access to cameras, but they do not have the skill to turn that, to hold that camera and turn it into a producer of great films, of great movies. So we have people who might be having this access to equipment, but they don't have the skill. So for you to qualify, one, you must be a youth under 35 years. You must not be currently enrolled in school, because if you're in school, please finish school, then you can come. You'll find EYOTAB in the future as well. But we want those people who have been itching for an opportunity to do something, and currently they have not yet been blessed with work or blessed with something gainfully, enabling them to fend for their lives or fend for their families. So we're looking for young people with raw talents to build.
Okay, it's a beautiful one right in there. And how many participants are you looking out for?
For the first year, for this first session or first phase, we are going to train 150 successfully youth. By successful, I mean those who will come through auditions. The reason we are going to do auditions is we want to weed out those who may not possess the raw material that we want to develop. Someone might be loving music, but the voice is not for music. Okay, so the voice could be for a politician or for a football commentator, but they love music. So we cannot turn that voice which is not musical into a magic. We are not magicians. We are trainers who are going to develop a skill. So we are going to have auditions and pick those who have the talent in comedy, in music, those who have an idea in videography, in camera work, and then we use the raw talent to now develop them into something great.
Do you have any deadline for picking up of these forms?
The deadline will even go into auditions themselves. So the deadline is going to be the first 7 days of the next month of September. So on the 8th of September, we won't be having any more applications for auditions, because we shall be reviewing the applications we've picked and also auditioning people.
Okay, Emma, now, after picking up these guys who are going to be successful in all this process and the project or the training is done, what next? Or it's just going to be we train you and then you find life somewhere. What next?
EYOTAB has a wide plan from the beginning to the end. EYOTAB, we have three, in our training, we have 3 phases we are looking at. We look at 1 called identify, 2 called nurture, 3 called connect. Identify is to pick out those who have the raw material, the raw talent in them. Okay, then after we identify, we nurture them, we train them for a period of about 6 months of hardcore training. Then after the training, we start connecting them to the people, the decision makers in the entertainment industry in Uganda. Also, during the training itself, you might find that the comedians will have, say, Salvador come and train them for a week. So you have a chance to interact with Salvador and a chance to appear at any shows that he's organizing. You could be interacting with Napoleon, who he organizes shows in Teso here. You have a chance to appear at his shows. So after the training, the nurturing, we're going to be connecting these people to the decision makers, to the promoters, to the event owners in Soroti and in the country at large. Because what we don't want is to finish training and then leave people hanging in there. No, we want to connect them to the people who are going to give them platforms to nurture their talent. But before that, we also want to put them into an organization, okay? An organization like a body, and that very body should be enough to start connecting them to these opportunities. For example, if I have, say, 10 musicians, I have maybe, we have trained someone who can play piano, we've trained someone who can play guitar, we've trained someone who can play the band, and we have a vocalist. Already we have people who can play a band. Now, these are the people we can give a band and say, you know what, so and so has put in their money, they have bought a band. Since you already have this talent, you've already been trained, come and form this band, call it the TBS jazz band. And immediately TBS starts hiring them, another party hires them. So we want to train these people and then also connect them to opportunities, but also organize them in groups that make them employable.
I think this makes sense so much because most times, youth have gotten into such things, but of course after the training, they're left hanging right in there and then they get back to zero. But I think this really makes sense for me and you. And if you've just joined us, still you're listening to 87.6 TBS, the Bull of Teso. I need to remind you that we have Napoleone Ehmah in the building, the man who is behind EYOTAB, and he's right in here shedding light on this particular issue. And if you have any query, if you have any comment that you need to forward, please hold it right in there. We need to go for a break right about now. When we bounce back, we shall be keeping on with this discussion.
MTN Kabade Super as you pay in Pola for the latest smartphone from MTN. Pay